Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have another DIY video coming. So today we're gonna install the auto power frunk for my Tesla Model Y with this kit from Tesla Offer, our friend from Hong Kong. So this is the front kit for the Y. They also make a kit for the 3 frunk and trunk as well with foot sensor. You can see all his other video on their own YouTube channel, or you can see my buddy Tesla Raj's video. But enough of talking, I'm just gonna make this simple, straightforward, step by step. So here we go. So before everything's gonna pop the hood and take off the covers, you basically just pull, and there's some clips, and then remove the whole tub from the front as well. There'll be a couple of 10mm bolts here. So I'm just gonna put the camera down and do some time lapse, and then come back when everything's removed. Alright, so that didn't take too long. So there's 2 bolts, 10mm bolts. Those just pull and clips right off. If you have a mat for your front, which I have the 3D Max Pitter, which is the best, I'll leave a link in the description. If you take that off, or if you don't have a mat, there will be 2 more bolts here, and then you got this cover, which you just pull. You pull from the top because the clips are on the top side. And once this is off, you gotta undo this little cable. Can't do it in one hand, but after you undo that one, the whole tub basically just lifts right off. So I'm just gonna take this off, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna go through what components it's in the box and what's the first step. So it turns out I wasn't quite ready yet. So there's a factory clip on here attached to the windshield wiper fluid reservoir or tunnel, and you just gotta undo that one with a little pick tool or a screwdriver. Alright, so in the box here we got a whole bunch of harness. They all have color and different shapes, and they're all labeled, so you can't really mess them up. Here's the actuator, I believe, or motor. So this is the main brain of the unit. It's labeled Model Y electric frunk from Tesla Offer, the website and whatnot. There's only one giant plug to the unit. Here's a bracket. I believe this goes on the factory latch. Here are 2 brackets that holds the electric struts on each end, and then the 2 not gas but electric struts to plug and play. See, they all have different type of connectors, so you can't really connect them wrong. So the first thing I'm gonna handle is I'm gonna replace the factory mount for the OEM struts with these brackets, and then put in the aftermarket struts. Alright, hopefully you guys can see. So this is that nut on the bottom that mounts the strut. It's a 1/2 inch bolt, so I have a 1/2 inch wrench, and I'm gonna just unscrew that. And just be careful, once you unscrew them, your hood is no longer fully supported. So make sure you have someone help hold on to the hood, or have something to prop it and hold up while you're removing that. So I'm gonna undo that right now, and then after that I'm gonna remove the top one and get one of the new struts in to hold it in place, and then go to the other side and do the same. So another quick tip, so while you're unscrewing the bottom, because there's a lot of force coming down from the hood, so if you just kind of lift up the hood slightly, you can basically unthread it by your hand. If the hood is putting a lot of stress on the bolt, then you would have to do a 1/4 of a turn at a time. Alright, so I just removed the bottom of the strut. As you can see, it's just dangling right now. So I can already feel the hood is trying to drop a little bit, but I put a basketball there just to hold it up. I don't know how many of you watching this video have seen my side skirt install video, where I use a basketball to basically inflate or deflate it to hold up the side skirt or front spoiler. So that's the same trick I'm using. It would be better if you have a second person, but I'm trying to do this one person, showing you how easy it is to install the kit. I'm gonna replace the bracket on the bottom first. That way when I'm ready to remove the top, I have the new struts ready to be installed right away. So these are the brackets, and within this bag there is a bolt which takes a hex key. So you're gonna need an Allen wrench. So I'm going to take these bolts out and then use these bolts to basically thread in to the existing ball mount that bolts onto the frame of the car that holds the bottom of the strut. And also the bracket is labeled left and right, so we're working on the left side, so this is the one that we're going to be installing right now. This is the bracket. This bolt is going to go right. Alright, so I got it hand tightened right now, so keep in mind that's the orientation of the bracket. And once again, this is the left side, so it's labeled left. So this is the right side. It would go on that side in this orientation. And as far as the bit size for that Allen key, you can either use a number 5 Allen key or a Torx number 30. In my case, I'm just going to use a Torx number 30 because that's what I have. Alright, so now the bracket is fully secured. I just hand tied it with tools, of course. And now before I unclip the top, I'm going to go get my new strut ready, just so when it's remove, this thing can go right in and keep supporting my hood. Alright, so this is the new strut. So the one side with the cables and everything is going to be on the bottom, so that's gonna go right on to the bracket that I just installed. And then as soon as I remove that top clip and remove the OEM strut, this end right here is gonna go right into the bracket of that hood right there. So this is the other mount for the top of the strut. So I'm just gonna use this small screwdriver and push the clip off and remove the entire strut. Okay, so I wasn't able to use the screwdriver that I was showing you. Instead I used this little pick tool that has a turn. As soon as I was able to get it into this gap, shove it in there and pry a little bit and it comes right off. So now it's time for the new strut. Here's the old and the new. Alright, so again, with the label facing down with the wires, and there's no left and right, so I'm just gonna stick this to the bottom bracket and then the top on the top bracket. It might also be a good idea to route your wire underneath however you want it. In my case, I'm just gonna go behind this bracket and then out that way, because that's gonna eventually join the rest of the harness. Okay, so now the strut is in on both ends. I did find that clipping in the top first makes it easier because you do want the strut to be somewhat straight in order to line up with the bottom, because if the bottom is at an angle, it won't line up because of the way the bracket is. It just won't reach the hole. In order for the hole to reach the bracket, you do have to somewhat position it straight. So putting in the top first helps align it. The natural position of the bottom is slightly lower than the bracket, so I push up on the hood. I could either use your head to kind of lift it up or use one hand to push it up while you reach down with your other hand to push in the clip. Okay, so both struts are in. Driver's side, I have the wire coming just below that silver bracket and on top of this windshield wiper neck thingy. And then on this side, there's not as much going on. I just tuck it under this plastic cover, and on the left of the filter, air, whatever thingy. Alright, so now the hood is being held on by the new strut. I'm just gonna leave the basketball there because I have other things to worry about. So next thing is the latch. So what I'm gonna be doing is removing the factory latch, unbolting this 2 bolts here. Looks like 10mm. After I remove that, I'll show you what I'm gonna do next. Alright. Okay, so now that the latch is removed, we're gonna carefully and temporarily disengage this spring right here. Put it to the side. So this bracket's gonna go like that, I guess. And then this is gonna slide right in. Like that. And now we can re-engage the spring carefully. Okay, so for whatever reason you accidentally locked yourself out with the latch, what you're gonna do is see this pin right here. You're gonna push it so it'll allow you to open up the latch again. Otherwise you get stuck in this position. It's a safety latch feature from the factory, so we're gonna push this to unlock it and push it again. Now we're back in business. So what I'm gonna do now is just reloading the spring back to where it was, just like that, and just put it right back on the factory location, and that's it. So the latch mechanism that we just put into the factory latch location is connected to this motor, and on this motor there's also this emergency hole for opening the front in case there's no battery powered or whatever reason. So you basically route this to your tow hook, which is pretty simple. I'll show you right now. So at your latch location, if you look toward the left, you can see I'm gonna pop that emergency tow hook front opening cover, and then we can see light coming through from that hole. So this is the driver's side, and right below the headlight there's this little hole opening. To open this, you basically push on the 2 o'clock position of the cover, just like that. It pops right open. And behind this is where you connect your 9-volt battery to an emergency situation, provide power to the front to open the front so firefighter can get to whatever they need to, cut the power, whatever, to the rest of the car. So now that we have that popped open, you can see that hole, and you basically just stick that through. See, I just did that one-handed. And you basically want to just tape this next to the wire, so in case you need to pull this cable in the future, hopefully not, but it will be right there once you pop this cover open. So now we got the struts in on both sides. We got the latch mechanism, everything secured. Okay, so I have the struts, 2 wires connected on both struts, and then the main harness is plugged into this box right here. And like I said, the purple connector goes right into this motor. And I do have positive connected to the battery. On the other end of this plug, not this one, here. So this comes with the plug but without the wire, but on the other end the wire has the spade ready to insert it into the connector. So I did just that, and I unplugged both of the connectors just so I want to make sure everything gets connected, and then this will be the final connector that I'm gonna connect. But I paused the video because there is this harness that is gonna adapt to your existing connection on these actuator thingy. So I basically disconnect this from the actuator and plug this right into here. Or maybe this way. There you go. And then this end will go right back in here. And then that leaves me with 3 more connections. And then this is the emergency latch connection. We're just gonna unplug that. Okay, so you can see that these are 3 pins connectors, so plug and play. This side, there you go, lock it. And then the replacement end will go right in here. Push that safety pin in. And that leaves you with this one last connector, which simply goes right on here. Like that. So now we have everything connected, and all we have to do is connect the power, and we should be able to test the unit. Oh, forgot to mention, so there is this speaker, alarm speaker, that you can also plug in, just like that. There you go. So I'm gonna plug in the main power and see if it works. And it works. Okay, so time to test the app as well. So this is the test app. Open. And there you go. So this is gonna work with your test app as well as the in-car LCD screen. So on your main display inside the car, same button from the factory where you open the frunk, you're gonna be able to open it and close it from the inside as well. Just like that. Okay, so all that's left to do right now is to hide all these in the far left side, right side where I'm looking at, but left side of the car, just below the headlight. And there aren't too many excessive wiring, just long enough if you want to tuck it somewhere else at your desire. But I'm just gonna zip tie everything and toss it somewhere in the corner securely without making any noise, and put the top back in, put everything back how it was, and then I'll show you the in-car control as well and a final look of the whole system. Okay, everything is back in. I did rerouted the right side just to get the cable underneath the black bracket because I don't want the top to be sandwiching the wire, so I did route everything underneath. I recorded some video of that from my phone. And then last but not least, don't forget to reconnect your emergency hood opening push button and reconnect your this cover here. If I could do this one-handed, there you go. Alright, moment of truth. Well, we already tested this, but here we go. With the Tesla app open, perfectly, and you heard the beep just to confirm that it's opening, and then close. You should hear the beep again. There you go, subtle beep, and see how it's soft closing, and then one more beep just to confirm that it's closed, and you can see hood shows closed. Now on to the inside of the car. So you can see right now my hood is closed as shown here, with the factory LCD display where we would normally open the hood. Bam. Hood opened. Hood stays open, just like the trunk. If you push that, that's gonna open, right? And then it's gonna show close because it's currently open. So, but for the front, it doesn't show close because there is no factory closing feature, and we just have no way around that. But just so you know, the same button you push to open the front, the same button you push, and your hood will now be closing. Just like that. It's gonna work 100% just like it would from the factory, either from your app or from the inside of the car on your LCD in-car display. But yeah, so just like that, this pretty much wraps up the whole video. This is by far one of the easiest DIY project I've done on a car, especially for the outcome, how much of an improve it is from the factory, where the factory does not have the option to automatically open or close your frunk. So the convenience this adds, the value and the amount of time needed to install, it's a great value. So I'm gonna leave a link to where you can buy this unit in the description. Again, these are engineered, designed in Hong Kong by Tesla Offer. They have been around for a couple years now. They have front and trunk kits for Tesla Model Y, Tesla Model 3, even Tesla Model X and S, I guess. If you already have existing power trunk, they could add a foot sensor to enable you use your feet to just kind of give a kick underneath your bumper to activate the opening and closing of your trunk. So go check out Tesla Offer, and I hope you guys find this video helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.